Depressing new poll just came out from Pew Research Global. They asked the question, is belief in God essential to morality? You ready for this? A majority of people in the United States say, yes. Yes, you need to believe in God to be a moral person. 53% of Americans say that. Now, how did the other modern nations do? Well, they did much better than us. Canada, only 31% say, yes, you need to believe in God to be moral. Australia, 23%. Britain, 20%. France, 15%. Now, that's a manageable number. Only 15% are idiots walking around going, oh, you're an agnostic? You're an atheist? Well, why aren't you killing people? Oh? Thank you, France, for being some of the few fucking smart people in the world right now. So which countries had a majority that said yes, along with the United States? The ones you'd expect. So we were tied with Mexico, for example, 53%. Well done, guys. Brazil, 86%. These are the worst ones. Malaysia, 89%. Ghana, 99% of people in Ghana said you have to believe in God to be moral. It's just truly scary. Like, if you go to some places in the world, it's like they're still stuck in the 1500s. It's like, yeah, no, if you don't believe in God, you should probably be killed. You're not a moral person. You can't be a moral person. You don't believe in God. What the fuck? What are we talking about here? This is like Salem witch trial shit. This is like Inquisition crusade shit. And here are two other interesting facts about this. In every country, the youngest people were more likely to say no, and the oldest people were more likely to say yes. So in other words, younger people have more access to information, they use the internet more, they've opened their minds more, they're not as stuck in their ways, and they're going, oh yeah, that's a fucking stupid idea, isn't it? Yeah, it's pretty stupid to say that if you don't believe in God, you have to be immoral. Old people, man, you're disappointing me. Just totally married to their cultures from like the 1950s, where they're like, they were told, well, only a man and a woman can get married, and you have to believe in God to be moral there, Chet. Ha 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 ha. It's just the Leave It to Beaver shit, like the fake contrived culture with all the arbitrary rules that the older people actually believe in. They're like, no, that was the best, yeah. It's so silly. You only believe that because you grew up in that situation. How do you not understand that? You're so not objective. And the other thing that was really interesting was education level. People with college degrees were 22 points more likely to say no. So apparently people that go to college, much smarter than people that don't go to college. I guess there's no surprise there. But I mean, the main point I want to get across here is you have to realize if somebody's an atheist or an agnostic or just a secular person, they don't believe that because there's some sort of defect. They don't believe that because it's like, I'm so miserable, there must not be a God. Boo. And that's the stereotype, you know? That's the stereotype of religious people about atheists. Like, oh, you're missing something? Oh, you sad thing. Maybe one day you'll see the light and then you'll become a full person by being like me and being religious. No. We believe what we believe for intellectual reasons. We believe it because we looked at the evidence. We looked at the lack of proof. We looked at the information and said, yeah, if there's not sufficient data to come to that conclusion that there's an old man in the sky who created us and is making decisions like a lunar Mac daddy, that's not the way that the world works. Like, if there is evidence for it, fine, we'll all believe it. We'll all look at it and we'll come to that conclusion. But at this point, there's not sufficient evidence, so we can't believe it. That's why we have that position, because we fucking thought about it. Not because we have some kind of defect or we're not moral. Here's the thing, we all would have came to that conclusion without religion. The idea that, hey, maybe you shouldn't steal my shit, and maybe I shouldn't punch you in the face, and maybe we shouldn't rape that girl. And the reason why we would have come to that conclusion, and the reason why we did in fact come to that conclusion, is we realized, whoa, everything goes much smoothly if we don't fuck with each other, you know? So here's what we're going to do. If I don't like something that's done to me, I just won't do it to other people because that's the way we'll show respect here. It's a logical thing. You can break it down, you can deduce it logically and say, that's why we're going to act this way. And that's, in all seriousness, that's probably how morality developed. It didn't develop because we all collectively sat down and said, let's see what this holy book says. Okay, we need to do everything exactly like this. Because guess what? We don't do everything exactly like the holy book say. If that was the case, people wouldn't get haircuts in America because the Bible says don't get haircuts. We wouldn't wear two different mixes of fabric because it says don't do that in the Bible. There wouldn't be any seafood places because you're not allowed to eat crab, lobster, or shrimp according to the Bible. So we blow it off when it's inconvenient. And we only do the major ones like don't kill, don't, rob. And again, we do that for secular reasons, not for religious reasons or God reasons.